going through the papers now. We've got Christopher Biggins this morning. Love to see you, Biggins.
Good to see you, Eamonn.
Dawn Neeson. Thank you. Dawn, Rwanda today, another Rwandan day and another Rwandan delay ahead.
Yes, deep joy for everybody. It's the government game of ping-pong between the House of Commons and the House of Lords. This bill was the Safety of Rwanda bill, which is the government declaring Rwanda a safe place, passed in the House of Commons, now gone to the House of Lords, who are going to water it down, send it back to the House of Commons, and that's going to carry on for a while. Meanwhile, we have more people crossing the channel, taxpayers' bills for hotels keeps going up, everybody keeps getting frustrated, and the question is, will a plane ever take off to Rwanda with any migrants?
Surely it's a legitimate debate, though, whether or not Rwanda is safe, when we've just learnt that we've just sent granted asylum to a number of Rwandans that have come in.
I know, the irony of that at this time is not lost on anybody. It is ridiculous. We don't know why those particular 4 Rwandans were granted asylum. It might be something on a more personal level. We just don't know. But Rwanda, it has been declared safe by our government now, Isabel.
Not by the Supreme Court, though.
Not by the Supreme. It's details. But the House of Lords, I mean, certainly the Lib Dem House of Lords are threatening to water it down as well because they're not happy with it. So this is going to go on and on and on. It's just... And will it actually be a deterrent? Because that's what we want, remember. We want this to be a deterrent. Will it actually deter people from trying to get across that channel?
Another boat this weekend, 300 and something people came across.
Yeah.
It's not going to be a deterrent at all.
Well, it seems that way, Christopher. It seems that way. As for Rwanda, I think people don't even know where Rwanda is. They don't know if it's in Asia or Africa.
You know what really annoys me, Eamonn? Speaking as one of the journalists that has actually been to Rwanda, I covered the genocide there. I went and talked to the kids in the orphanages after that appalling situation. I kept in touch with one of the ladies running the orphanages. She died recently, bless her. It is the most beautiful country, and the people there are mostly very, very lovely. And there's an awful lot of things said about Rwanda that I just think, hold on a minute, that actually sounds quite racist, to be honest with you. You know, it's not the hellhole that everybody thinks.
No, it's not to say it's not beautiful, but I mean, it's got a oppressive regime.
It just had the odd genocide, that's all. It doesn't make them a bad...
That was in the 90s, that was quite a while ago.
Yeah, but I think there's a lot of...
genocides going on now.
Well...
Chris, here's a situation. We're going to talk about what it was called a base jumper here, and this is in Thailand. And this guy who died, sadly, Nathan Oddison, he was a skydiver, and he gets up the top of this block of flats. He's got a chute and whatever, but it doesn't open. It all goes wrong.
And there's a terrible film of him at the top, you know, ready to jump. Everything going well, and he says, right, here we go, 3, 2, 1, jump. And that was the last he spoke, because the next thing, he hit a tree and hit the ground and died instantly.
Why do they do this?
I have dreams like that, or should I say nightmares? Do you have that nightmare?
Yes, absolutely.
What was that? I missed that.
I have nightmares of that happening.
Falling?
You know, just falling to my death.
That's sexual.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've heard
I
that,
definitely don't have that dream. No, that's
definitely
Isabel.
don't have that dream.
Just you,
well, you have to tell me in the break what it means.
Exactly.
But it is everybody's worst nightmare, isn't it? And these people, they like the adrenaline, they like sort of tricking their brains that they are able to defy death, but things go wrong.
And it's like people who go under the ground, you know, to get thrills by, what do they call it? You know...
Burial.
What? No, not burial, no. You know, when they go under...
Potholing.
Paving and potholing.
I've got no patience with potholers because, you know, they then want to be... behave, you two. They then want to be, you know, rescued, and people put their lives at risk to try and rescue them.
So what are you
that's
saying,
what
that
David Blaine did.
We just don't do any adventure sports?
No.
Well, there's adventure and there's adventure. I do find it very difficult to get in someone's head. This guy's 33 years of age, that he would do this base jumping often, do they have permission to do this stuff?
No, I don't think they do they?
Yeah.
What's the definition of a base jump? Does anyone? I don't know. Does it mean you're jumping off buildings?
Jumping off a solid thing. It can be it can be a building
rather than out of a plane.
Yeah.
Got it. Should we talk about this headmistress and these Ofsted inspections of schools, and I suppose almost the legacy, really, of what has happened in the wake of her taking her own life?
This is headmistress Ruth Perry, who took her own life in November 2022. She was head of Caversham Primary School in Reading in Berkshire for 13 years, a school that had been rated good or very good. Was suddenly in an Ofsted ruling, suddenly branded inadequate for a very minor safeguarding issue. So there's been a cross-party Education Select Committee report looking into what's going on here. And the problem here is, Isabel, it's that Ofsted, which is the watchdog, if you like, just brand schools a one-word rating, so it's inadequate, it's good. And this is part of the issue here. And the coroner at Ruth's inquiry into her death did say that the Ofsted report was partly responsible for her taking it. She had no mental health issues. And it was the fact that her school, which was actually a very, very good school, the parents love it, the kids love it, there was no issues, was suddenly branded inadequate.
But yeah, but you get branded these one words on I think it's about 5 different areas, and any parent can then look up the Ofsted report for each school. I know this because my kids just recently moved school, and the school that my daughter was going to had just been downgraded. So I went on to
find out why it was downgraded.
Exactly. And so I could see where it was doing really well. It was absolutely fine on safeguarding. They had a few problems with adjusting the curriculum to phonics. And, you know, I think we can oversimplify the story almost, not you, but, you know, society, by saying that this is all about the one-word use in Ofsted inspection reports. Actually, it keeps it very simple for parents to get a sense of what... And there is the information there if they want to look into it.
I mean, this is the situation now, though. They are going to change the one-word ruling, so you don't have to make the effort like you... Because, I mean, you're a good mum, you would make that effort. But a lot of parents can say, oh, inadequate, I'm not sending my child, without actually looking into the reasons that school is branded inadequate. So they are now going to ditch the one-word rulings and actually have more of an explanation as to what is wrong or right with a certain school.
I mean, the absolute terror when an Ofsted inspection appears at a school. I mean, I've never seen anything like it. They're there for sort of 2-3 days, and the head teacher virtually sleeps in the school for the duration.
In Ruth's case, they said it was very intimidating and almost bullying, and that was part of what the coroner said.
Right, we've got a bit of footage now, and this is an escaped monkey. Yeah, it's an escaped monkey. So let's have a look at this. So this is from a Highland Wildlife Park, and it was then spotted away 2 or 3 miles away in Craig.
Oh, trying to get some nuts there.
A snow monkey, it's a common term, but he escaped, and then he was found feeding off a bird table.
Yeah.
And his daughter called the father and said, "Look, Daddy, look what's in the garden," and there he was. And people have been told not to approach him because he could be dangerous.
And this is in Scotland, is it?
This is in Scotland, yes. And he looks very sweet, doesn't he?
It'd be quite nice to have some monkeys pottering about in the Scottish Highlands.
Yeah,
I'm not quite sure what that would do to the
monkeys. I think they're quite spiteful.
Yeah.
You've got to be very careful. They look lovely, don't they? And, you know.
And what's happened? Did they catch the monkey?
Not yet, I don't think.
Oh.
No, it's still at large. It was only yesterday that it escaped.
So we've got from a monkey to a 2-year-old monkey, a British boy thought to be the youngest person ever to reach base camp at Everest.
And this is what I wanted to talk about our extreme and adrenaline sports for, because this marvellous little boy, toddler Carter Dallas, the youngest person ever to reach Everest Base Camp. He's with his mum and dad. He was carried up there in mum's backpack, and it's 17,598 foot above sea level. Mum Jade, as I said, carried him up there, Dad Ross 35, and the altitude sickness kicked in round about sort of like 12,000 feet. And mum and dad are both saying that little Carter actually was better than all of them, didn't get altitude sickness whatsoever. The family are from Glasgow, and they flew to India, visited Sri Lanka, Maldives, mate. And what an amazing experience, this little boy, to actually, there's a brilliant picture of me in the paper there, sitting at Everest Base Camp. What really lovely...
Do you think?
Yes.
I don't know if it's the right place for kids to be going.
Why not?
Well...
2 years old?
Yeah.
So he didn't get altitude sickness. How did they know? couldn't speak. You know, they don't know.
If someone's, I used to go. I know you're going to hate me for saying this, Eamonn, but I used to do adrenaline sports. I used to go mountain climbing and potholing and caving. I didn't do base jumping, but I used to go mountaineering, and it's the best feeling in the world is being up there in the mountains. And believe me, you know when someone's got altitude sickness, no matter how old they are, you can tell.
I do think, though, that Everest Base Camp is becoming busier than Brighton Pier.
Everest Base Camp.
And if everyone's bringing their kids along, you know, all the other stuff, you're going to need some soft play while you're there.
I don't think it's going to turn into Blackpool.
Well, you
Isabel,
never know.
I mean...
You never know.
But Dawn, you did the marathon this weekend.
Well, I didn't do the marathon. I did a marathon. I was raising money for prostate cancer.
Well done.
Where did you do that?
I just did it along the banks of the Thames. I did it all by myself, and it was more of a stagger than a run. It was like a fast walk most of the time.
How long did it take you?
It took me just over 6 hours, so I wasn't running at full pelt. I wasn't doing a full...
Well, well done you.
Yeah,
well done.
Thank you.
How do we sponsor or support
Oh, no. I'd make a donation. I mean, sponsorship, you know, but it's a Prostate Cancer UK because 3 people very close to me were all diagnosed with prostate cancer at the same time. So, gentlemen, if you're out there, you're a certain age, and certainly if you're black, go and get yourself checked. Very important message.
OK, good message there. Biggins, I spotted this story in the papers this morning, and actually I was chatting about this with my producer, whose sister is a professional ballerina. But I don't know if you've ever been to the Manchester Opera House.
I have.
But there was bloodshed at a performance of Swan Lake.
Yes.
Apparently, a man complained about a woman making noise and thumped her on the arm, and in the interval the husband of the woman then attacked said complainant, and this resulted in a broken eye socket and blood all over his face at the ballet.
Yes, well...
What's going on in society now?
It's the ballet.
No, but I mean, has that ever happened in the history of ballet?
But people get very sensitive about being told off, and you know, I can see it from both sides. You just want to say, mind your own business, or the woman may not have felt she was making noise, or whatever. Some people just are very interfering.
But it is annoying. You go to the theatre because you want to see a play or a ballet, in this particular case, and you sit down and it's all lovely, and then suddenly you're aware of someone eating, you know, next to you or 2 seats away, and it's so annoying, or slurping a drink, and you think, why can't they? This is the theatre.
I know. Why people think the theatre is a place to eat?
Well, sorry, it's not the people, it's the theatre think it's a place to eat.
Yeah,
because they're making money.
Yeah, they're pushing the food.
Yeah, exactly.
Everything else. So
Darling, you were at the theatre last night, weren't you?
I was. I'm going to talk about it in the last section.
what did you go to see?
I went and saw Sarah Jessica Parker.
Oh, did you?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Plaza Suite.
Plaza Suite, yes.
She's on the front of the papers. Oh, I look forward to hearing about that, Biggin.
Good.
Thank you. Thank you very much indeed,
See you
Christopher
again.
and Dawn. Let's get the weather update. Greg Dewhurst.